Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much again for joining me here. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Let's take a quick look here at Bitcoin, see what's going on. Kind of see this obvious pennant slash triangle pattern here breaking to the downside. And again, as soon as I noticed this, I opened a short with ICP because I talked about the bear flag here with ICP and just how ominous that looks. So keep in mind, there's no guarantee Bitcoin is going to continue too much lower because I did want to consider a long at 63,000, but at this point, it does look like we're losing this little support range. We'll probably see the low 62K range. So just heads up on that analysis from earlier, temporarily invalidated. Again, it's easy to say now, of course, because hindsight's 2020, but the truth is you got to give a support level time to be able to hold, and we've seen that hasn't done a very good job of that. So either way, that's kind of where we're at there for Bitcoin, just bird's eye view. This is not a complete analysis yet. We want to look at some backend data here and double check a few important things. So welcome aboard. If you're new to the channel, you've been watching for a while, thanks again for always hitting that like button and potentially subscribing if you obviously aren't familiar. So what I want you to do is learn as much as you can, as much as possible. Obviously, that's the whole concept here. So I'm going to kind of try to educate you on how things are supposed to work based on patterns and support and resistance levels. We're tentatively breaking that ascending trend line to the downside. We're likely to see a bearish backtest of that ascending trend line. That's a very common characteristic. But we're going to double check a few things because now that liquidation has been swept to the upside, pretty much everything is done for. In other words, not a lot of short liquidation levels to sweep. Longs are next. And the reason why the longs are next is because the delta is way too high. You kind of see here, we got about 2.5 billion in long liquidation on the charts here that could be swept here soon. And most of that, of course, is to the downside as low as 57K, but there's definitely some lower, more relevant recent longs here as low as about 60K. They're playing it safe. These are more low leverage long positions, and I totally get it. That's right there where my liquidation level would be if I took a long. But again, that's why you wait for the candlestick to close and to ensure that you're patient here, because had we taken it long at 63,000 earlier, it would be in the red right now. Okay, so again, just kind of clarifying a few things as to why patience can pay off. Again, at this point, we're a little too early to tell. Let's go ahead and see what's going on here with the daily and work our way down. Let's quickly look at this different chart here and just kind of clarify here. We got this ascending trend line tentatively being tested. We got a really ugly doji candle here so far. That's a hammer down doji candle, basically a gravestone, not advantageous whatsoever. So not a good call there. We kind of see here, oops, got some alerts going off. We can see we're below two of the more important moving averages. The 20-day SMA to me is important, kind of a resistance range. And if we take a look here, we can see 50 on the SMA, still below the price action. That's right around 61K. So 62,000 should hold to the support, but we're going to see here soon if that is reality or not. Obviously, at this point, we want to kind of just be careful and pump the brakes, not get too crazy with positions, because just because Bitcoin's running does not imply you just chase it. Okay, you generally don't try to catch a falling knife, so to speak, as they say. But once more, at this exact moment, it does look like things have shifted from earlier today. This bearish momentum is the bullish momentum is kind of turning bearish, and we'll see that in smaller time frames. Again, don't run for the hills, folks. Bitcoin's not in terrible shape. All the indicators earlier today, minus a couple of small ones, were indicating further upside. Okay, 65K is that next potential area of liquidation. However, if we take a look here, we can see stochastic swinging up. We're really close to 50 on the RSI, not generally an awesome place, but we're still above that, right? So that's a positive sign nonetheless. MACD is trying to converge, but kind of plateauing, so to speak, and we're in this situation here where it's not terrible, but it's not great, okay? So it's kind of like a transitionary time frame, which is odd it's not a transitionary time frame. I misspoke. Bitcoin's going through a transition right now, and generally, when you see that transition occur, things can get really weird really fast. So unfortunately, the market lately, it's been difficult to gauge these upswings and downswings because they're so sporadic that it's constantly changing. So unless you're day trading, swing trading has honestly become a lot more challenging. So not making excuses, that's just literally how it works. And that's just kind of the market. And again, a lot of these things can change instantly based on the whole, a lot of the fundamentals going on in the world right now. So just keep in mind, keep your head on a swivel. Try not to get too attached to a specific bias that we're bullish or bearish, okay? I would say short term, we're bearish just based on the obvious, but let's go ahead and see on the 4 hour here where we're at. So we're really close to 50 on the RSI, basically make or break right now. Closing, like I mentioned earlier today, at 62.5 or higher would be a very beneficial situation. I don't think we're just going to continue higher because of it. I just think that we're less likely to go down if we consolidate at this area here and potentially leg up later. Money flow index is pulling back. Of course, that's a bit of a funky indicator right now, being a Monday, since we had low volume for the weekend. At least Saturday was low volume, and we got stochastic swinging down. MACD is trying to diverge. It's on the horizon, so to speak, and we can see our trend strength indicator. It's still showing we have some strength here. So again, a lot of conflicting information. We're above the 20 and the 50-day SMA. This is why that 62,300 mark could be a potential long. Mainly because we have this previous point of control here, more local. You can see there's a decent amount of volume at 62K. So we should experience some support here at this point. Again, minus the fundamental catalyst, we should see the price action kind of holding in that range. There's a fair value gap there as well that could get filled, which is halfway filled already. So solid pivot point, but again, it's way too early to speculate. Let's take a look at the hourly and kind of see where we're at. This one I was talking about earlier was still in decent shape, but it has since changed quite a lot. We see here, we got a new fair value gap to the upside, upwards about 63K. So we may see a recovery to that, but that's a very low probability. We've got our money flow index, sorry, correction, same color as the MFI. And this is a lagging span. It's soon to be free and clear to the downside, implying further continuation lower is probable. Same thing with the conversion line being below the baseline, that's shifting momentum. And if we close below the cloud here, that would be a significant continuation likelihood of further downside. So at this point, it does seem probable we're going to see Bitcoin pull back. We have to give 62,000 a chance to hold. It may not hold considering the overall circumstances here. And if not, what I'll do is I'll post a playout chart here soon with the new support and resistance levels. But at this point here, 61,400, that was a previous support range. That could be a new support for us. Okay, so we'll just have to kind of play it by ear, so to speak, but at this point, not looking great. Okay. Keep in mind, this is not a tremendous amount of volume yet, so we could see some buying pressure once we hit that key level support, which 62,000 should kick in here soon. We're going to see in a moment what that looks like, but from a liquidation standpoint, we are seeing anywhere between 61 to 62K as that next area of focus. Okay, so again, I'll post this information here shortly. Thanks again so much for watching. Be safe out there, folks. Again, everything can turn around quickly, so just be cautious and careful. Looking forward to work with you either way. Thanks again for your time. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.